Available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis, Dark Incubus in paperback and e-readers today. One of my viewers sent me an email with a video from someone from Colombia talking about how the door is being closed on all of the passport bros. All you black males who dissed me and tried to harass me back in 2019 when I went out here and made a video trying to debunk all this passport nonsense, all you black men owe me an apology. Now I know that many of you black men ain't gonna believe a word that I say as related to what I'm gonna post in this video, but I'm hoping that everybody sees this evidence coming straight from people from Colombia, letting you know what the deal is.
Did you know as of August 2026, as of right now of the recording of this video, Medellin Airport has turned away more tourists than they have in all of 2025 due to sexual tourism. You might have heard that, but the thing that they're not saying or saying in private are the vast majority of these people are from the United States. I would say over 90% are from the United States, and they fit a certain profile. Passport bros. Black passport bros.
I thought they love y'all black men in Colombia. I find it interesting that that Colombian woman that many of these passport black males wanted to go out here and big up as better than the black woman has no problem standing right by that Colombian man as he goes and takes a foot to shove it square up, dead up they black asses to kick them right out of the country. I want y'all to listen to him clearly, because what he said was he's not talking about white passport bros. No, he's specifically talking about black American passport bros.
And nobody really wants to talk about why or what the outcome is or what the city is trying to say. But today in Mature Medellin, we're going to look at the facts of why a legal practice here in Colombia that a lot of people, a lot of men partake in, whether you agree with it or not, totally legal, people are doing it. But when Americans come to take advantage of that or to use that situation, they're absolutely turning people away. Well,
now I want y'all to listen to what this man is saying about black men coming to Colombia. Now, what he's saying is that even though prostitution is considered to be perfectly legal inside of Colombia, perfectly legal for the other man, but not the brother man, the Colombian government has a problem with heterosexual black American men coming to their country for what they believe is suspected sex tourism. And they want to turn specifically heterosexual black American men away at the airport because they don't believe that that's a good look for their country. Yeah, they love you so much they're not even letting you in the country. And notice how the government of Colombia is correlating black men coming to Colombia with prostitution. And that just shows how white supremacist adjacent Colombia is as related to its perception of black men, and how when it comes to the nation of Colombia, they don't really love black men as they basically believe that they do when they go to travel to that country. Because when they look at black men, they look at them the same way the white supremacist does, seeing them nothing more than brutes looking to lust after their women, and someone looking to go out here and look to exploit the women inside of their country. That's the point they don't want to talk about, but if you listen between the lines, you can clearly see the anti-black racism that Colombia has towards black men that many of the passport bros are in deep denial about.
Anyway, we're going to discuss that in today's conversation during Mature Medellin. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm an investor and an entrepreneur from the United States. I live in Seattle, Washington and Medellin part-time, and I give you the no BS version of what goes down here and things to look out for the mature audience. Hope you like this kind of content. Like and subscribe for more. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into the numbers. In 2025, there was a total of 110 inadmissions to all of Colombia. And in 2026 so far, there's been a total of 140 inadmissions. Now, how many of that do you think are from Medellin? You might have guessed it. It's over 100. The last I checked, it was 106 or 107 admissions to Medellin Airport. Meaning in Medellin in 2026 so far, we had almost as many total denials as in all of 2025 in Colombia. Now, clearly they're trying to send you a message. The vast majority of these people who are being inadmitted are people from the United States, American men, American passport bros. They fit a certain profile. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. They're Black Americans. And why are they being profiled? We'll talk more about that later in the video. I don't think it's racism, but we'll talk.
He doesn't think it's racism, but I definitely know it is. The message that they want to send to the black man that he basically is too stupid to hear is that you're not welcome here and your money's not welcome here either.
Talk more about that. You can comment below and you can tell me what you think. What do we know as facts? The facts is they do interviews, right? They interview you, they check your Instagram, they check your Facebook, they check your WhatsApp messages, and they see what kind of history, what kind of dialogue you've been having. They do international checks, and they also do luggage checks. Now, if you're carrying...
I wonder if they do that to any of the white guys who come to Colombia to go out here and get with the women legally and look to participate in their deviancy and debauchery abroad. What he's talking about, what's going on in Colombia here with black men, is a textbook case of racial profiling from the Colombians who supposedly love black men so much that they go out here and participate in anti-black racism towards these black male passport bros. But these same Colombians won't do this to any of the white males who come to that same country to go out here and engage in the legal prostitution and possibly go out here and participate in the deviancy and debauchery as PDF files, especially those who are part of the Epstein class. Now, those deviant and perverted white guys, they can come into the country and not have their social media scrutinized or have their belongings searched. However, when the black American man comes to a country like Colombia, where the many black men believe that they are loved so much, they love them so much that they go and racially profile those black men by going through their social media and also then going through their belongings to make sure that they're not participating in any sex tourism. But the white guy can come into the country and basically he can go into the country and do whatever he pleases, and it's perfectly fine with the Colombians. And according to these passport bros, everything is perfectly fine, and the Colombians love black people so much. They love them so much that they continue to participate in the same anti-black racism that these passport bros say that they are trying to run away from, and trying to run away from the anti-black racism they suffer in America and the same type of cruelty that they say that black women participate in. But when I look at this situation, I see where the black man who's traveling is basically traveling with blinders over his eyes, because he can't see how white supremacy is global and how this same country that he considers to be a sanctuary basically is participating in the same white supremacy and anti-black racism directed towards him. And where did those people in Colombia learn all of that racism? Critical question I want to ask all those black passport bros. Where did these Colombians learn all of this? Because if the woman is the first teacher of culture to a child, then we can surmise that when it comes down to many of the women who these passport bros want to say is so much better, she's no different than the white women in America as related to participating and teaching the culture of white supremacy and anti-black racism that she's taught to her male children who go out here and create the policies that are meant to oppress him in that same country.
50 condoms and sex toys and things like that, that's a huge red flag to them, and chances are you're going to get denied. We'll talk more about why and all of those kinds of things later in the video, but that's the facts. And they try to determine, is this guy here primarily for sexual tourism? If he is, we're going to send him back. We're going to talk more about how it's legal in Colombia for prostitution, yet how they don't want that to be a prevalent thing in the messaging that they're sending here today. All right, Hey, look, I'm a Christian and I don't believe in prostitution, but regardless of my personal beliefs, we understand that prostitution is 100% legal here in Colombia. There's Colombian men every single day who are using this activity with no trouble, with no problems at all. And so here's the rub. Why is it totally legal for Colombians, but when American men come and try to do this, it's shunned upon, it's looked down upon, and they're being rejected at the airport?
I'll tell you why it's being shunned, and the reason why it's being shunned has to do with anti-black racism. Now, when it comes down to the Colombians, yeah, they got no problem with the white guys or the Asian guys coming to travel to their country and get with the legal prostitutes. However, they have a problem with the black American men coming to go get with their women. And the problem that they have is that these black Americans are people who they believe are beneath them. And since they believe that the black American man is beneath them, they see it as an insult if that black man has the audacity to, one, come to their country, and two, go get with their women. And as they see that as an insult, they make it looks to them like they are the weak people. It makes them look weak all around, because if the man who white supremacy considers to be the lowest in society is, one, having enough money to travel to their country, and two, has enough money to go out here and get with their women, this basically means that those people in Colombia, especially the Colombian men, are being knocked down a rung as related to being in the social pecking order of white supremacy. And when these Colombian men see this black man out here having more money than they do and living a better life than they do, that's going to make them look really bad in their own country. And that's not the good optical look for most of those men in that country, that these black men have the audacity to not only come to their country, but come there and get with their women. That's not a good look all around for many of those Colombian men. And that's where when they heard about these black passport bros coming to their country, that's when their racism kicked in. And that's when they said, nah, we're not having these guys come to our country and go out here and get with our women straight in our face. Here we are, working Colombian men. We going out here to work every day, and we making a good living. We want to be able to get first choice with our women, and they do get first choice with their women. But you have this black American man who has the audacity to think that he can go out here and rise over us and be on a higher level of the social pecking order. That's where they got an issue with the black man, and they got that issue because in the system of white supremacy, these white supremacist adjacent individuals were told that they had a higher level in the social pecking order above the black man, and they believed that this brute having the audacity to come to their country, that's a disrespect to them and look to get with their women, because again, like Akwisi 100 or brother of Logic and Common Sense said, again, when it comes to these men, they're very territorial, and they see these black men coming into their territory as an invasion of their territory, an invasion of their space, and they take it real personal, because if you have other men coming to your country, getting with your women, that's not a good look for you as a man. It says that you're not handling your business as a man, that you're not asserting your authority as a man. And when women see that these other men can come to your country and go out here and get with them, especially these black men who they consider to be the bottom of the social pecking order, what happens with those women is that they start to have less respect and less regard for the men in that country. And while these same people, again, are spellbound white supremacy, ain't got no problem with no white man coming to their country. They know that him coming there is not a problem to them. They have a problem with this black man coming to their country. They have a problem with this black man coming to their country and going out here getting with their women right in their face. That's the ultimate disrespect for these men. And what they're doing now is looking to try to go out here and create political policy to go out here and shut this down so that they won't lose face as men. Because while black men come from these single mother households and don't really know the man code because they don't have a father father in their life, these Colombian men understand the man code, and they understand that if another man is from another community starts to come into your community, that's sending a message to the entire world that you are weak. And this is something that many black American men don't understand, but other men in the world do. And while the black man has no problem with all these white guys, these Arab guys, these Hispanic guys, these Asian guys coming into their community and getting with black women participating in off-code behavior like talking about swirling and divesting, when it comes down to those countries, they got a real serious problem with the black man coming into their country and getting with their women. And they know that it's not a good look if a man can go out here and get with your women. They think of that, again, as the ultimate disrespect, the ultimate, sign that these men are weak men. And that's the thing that has many of these guys in Colombia extremely upset and looking to shut all these passport bros down, because if other men can come into your country who are at the bottom of the social pecking order and get with your women, what that sends is a message that your men in your nation are weak and that you are open to being further invaded by other forces and possibly conquered by those other forces.
That's the problem so many passport bros are having. They're feeling like it's a double standard for Colombian laws. Now, here's the thing. They're not going to change the Colombian laws, but what they're doing is immigration discretion.
Looks like anti-black man discrimination to me, because where is this with the Epstein class white men?
They're trying to send the message. What is that message? And this is the part you have to understand. That message is, we don't want there to be a high volume of foreigners to come and make their city look like that. And I think we're all adults. We know what look like that is, right? Colombians don't want Medellin to look like Thailand. I'm sorry, Thailand, right? You have an image for a reason. And it's yeah. Anybody who's been to Thailand, they understand what Thailand's like, okay? Like Medellin, they want people to come here for the food, for the culture, for the weather, for the city. They don't want you to come here for your primary purpose, for sexual tourism. And that's a clear message that immigration is sending. I don't know if you're getting it, but that message is pretty loud and clear. Now let's take a look at social media and what kind of people have been being rejected. The one case that I remember of a white guy being rejected was Casey Redbeard. Now if you follow his stuff is all about how to improve your social media to attract more women, how Latin women are much better than Western women. I don't think he ever promoted sexual tourism or pay to play. Even with his profile, the government thought he was exploiting Colombian women, and he was denied. Now, I don't think Casey's ever made a response or a video about that, so I don't know the full details, but that was one case. Now, if you look at many of the passport bro movement, what's being denied, it's guys who are going to these VIP experiences. Basically, they're coming here for sexual tourism or sexual parties or parties with women. I don't know the full details. I don't think anybody does unless you pay $2,000 to go to that. Now, I think that's crazy, but men are doing it. Men like that have been rejected. Also, men that fit a certain profile. Guys who are carrying massive sex toys and massive amounts of condoms and things like that. I know some guys are saying, oh my God, if you're going to deny men from entering the city with condoms, then you're going to have so many foreign babies being born. But they do sell condoms here in Colombia, okay? So there's ways around that. That just seems silly to me. But regardless, these are the types of profiles that are being rejected right now in Colombia.
Basically, a lot of these simps who basically listen to all of this misinformation online and go out here and think they can go traveling to these countries and basically fuck around and find out.
One thing I forgot to mention was about the social media and the black Americans and passport bros that are in these videos or in these social media posts. Now, I wasn't a follower there, so I really don't know a whole lot, but based on everything that I've seen, these social media guys who got into trouble, guys who are inadmitted, were guys who were throwing VIP parties, really putting a limelight or a spotlight on something that the city didn't like, right? And so that's the key thing that you have to understand, is that let's say you have something you don't want highlighted in your city, but you keep on highlighting it, right? And I'm not saying this is fair or unfair. I'm just telling you what I see as a third party of what happened. And what I see is the passport bros, a lot of the black Americans were coming here showing just the adult playground, as a lot of people called it, or something where they are out here promoting sex tourism, promoting party life, promoting all of this stuff. And now there's a lot of pushback saying you're going to be losing so much money, you're going to be losing all of this tourist dollars. And yes, that is true. There are hotels that are down, there are Airbnbs that are down. I shouldn't say hotels, I think the vast majority of these guys are using Airbnbs, but overall tourism has probably suffered a little bit because of that, maybe bar owners and things like that, as these types of things are going to be stopped. But it's kind of like when you're dating a toxic girlfriend, right? When you rip off the Band-Aid, it might hurt because you miss her, even though she's toxic, you enjoy her company, you like hanging out with her, you like being alone, you like the social events, you like all of those things, but deep down inside, she's not the best thing for you, right? And this is what I believe is happening to the Passport Bro movement here in Medellin. It's a Band-Aid that people are wanting to rip off. The city and the mayor wants to rip off because that's not the image that they want to portray. The city and the mayor wants to portray the image of come here for the food, for the people, for the culture, for the city, not for your playground, right?
I want you to listen to what Dude said and what he talked about as related to image. Now, when it comes down to the system of white supremacy, image is everything as related to being a part of that system, and it's not a good look for a nation when you have it where the men who are considered the bottom of society can basically run amok in your country. And what's not a good look for the Colombians is not just the black men coming to travel to that country to participate in what they believe to be sex tourism, but it's also not a good look for the Colombians because it just says that the Colombian nation is a weak nation because they're basically allowing all these specifically black men to come into their country and do whatever they please. And that just sets an image that makes it look like the country is in complete anarchy, similar to what many racists present in movies like Birth of a Nation, because if you ever watch the movie Birth of a Nation, they basically say that when black people come into power, there basically is going to be chaos, and that's what many of the people in Colombia believe is happening with all these black passport bros, that they're going to bring chaos to the country by looking to go out here and look to get with the women, whether it be through the legal prostitution or the legal or the just deviant behavior of tourism. Again, it's not a good look for them as related to the system of white supremacy for the men at the bottom of society, as they believe, to come into a country and just do whatever they please. And as a result of them hearing about all these black men going out here talking on social media, because ever since about 2011, all we've heard from these black men endlessly as related to them talking about about passports, they've been talking about, how these women are so much better and how things are so much better as related to the whole situation with racism. And the irony is that as they try to escape the racism of America, that's where the white supremacy of Colombia started to kick in, because they didn't want to lose their place in the white supremacist structure. And as they didn't want to lose their face and they didn't want to lose their image as a country, this is where they're looking to try to just shut things down, because they would rather lose money than lose face as related to their standing in the system of white supremacy. they would rather lose money than lose face. And that basically proves the point that it's never about money in the system of white supremacy. Nope, never about money at all. No, it's about them going out here and maintaining the standard of the white supremacists, which means keeping the black man at the bottom. And keeping the black man at the bottom means making sure that this black man does not get access to not only the country, but also to the access to the women. And what's happening here is basically these black male passport bros that the country is looking to slam the door shut on them and looking to slam the door shut on them because they would rather support the institution of white supremacy rather than go out here and be this place where black men believe that they can go out here and find the love that they can't find in America.
And not to take advantage of young minors or anything like that. And trust me, I'm not saying that's what the passport bros were doing. Obviously, they were stopping a lot of white guys for doing that kind of stuff. But regardless, they're trying to stop all of that negative stuff when it comes to tourism because they feel like it was just too much. And so part of it is, I think, the black community, the passport bros, did it to themselves. And now,
will you listen to that? Basically, he's blaming the passport bros for what the Colombian government is doing. And I'd have to say, yeah, he's basically right. It is the passport bros' fault because the passport bros basically just went and overdid everything by going out here and making all of these statements on social media. And as they made all these statements on social media, thinking that they had this big secret, what they didn't understand is that everybody now has the internet and everybody has social media. And not only do the women in these countries have this internet and social media to watch these passport bros go out here and talk about all the women that they want to get and use that as a plan to plot against those black men to take advantage of them. You also have government officials now watching these videos, and as they're watching these videos, they're realizing that this whole campaign from passport bros is not a good look for their country, and now they're looking to go out here and shut the door on the passport bros and send a message to these passport bros that they're not welcome in their country, especially the black American man.
I don't know why they were, because it's still technically legal, right? But they have the right to turn them away, number one. And the second thing a lot of people have said is maybe a lot of these guys had tourist visas. I don't know if they had business visas or tourist visas or investor visas. I don't know, but a lot of people say that they had tourist visas and they were operating businesses here. And so once again, if you're running an American business, you might be paying taxes in America. Maybe you're not, I don't know. But those tax dollars aren't coming here. And even if all of your fans came and spent a bunch of money within the city, yes, it's a Band-Aid that they're willing to lose for now because they want a cleaner, better message, cleaner vision, cleaner image of the city of Medellin. So hopefully you understand what's happening here. Let's take a look at the practical realities. There's over 1 million people who come to Medellin each and every year. And even if we continue at this pace, there'll probably be under 200 total denials in 2026. Now do the math. You have a 99.999% chance of coming to Colombia with no problems whatsoever. I had a guy who messaged me and said, "Hey John, I go there, I like to date women, blah, 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 blah. I'm worried. Should I be worried?" I said, no. I mean, no, your chances of you getting stopped for any issues, you're not going to have any issues whatsoever. But do I think they might be profiling some people? I think they might be, right? Like I don't have the international playbook, but I definitely think they're profiling some people. If you look like a passport bro, chances are you might be scanned a little bit tighter.
Chances are if you're a black man, they're going to be looking for you. Again, black men, where is my apology? Tried to look out for y'all and y'all did me dirty. But that's okay, because now y'all reaping what y'all sowed after all the truth has come out. After watching this video, I see every point that I made in August of 2019 basically proven to me. And when it comes down to many of the black men who went out here and went berserk when I presented these same statements. 7 years later, these same black males now have egg on their face because now these countries like Colombia and Brazil are openly participating in their anti-black racism as related to these passport bros. Now, if we remember, Brazil was one of the first countries to start taking official action against the passport bros once Austin Holloman came out here and went on social media broadcasting he was coming to their country to get with their women. And that's when a Brazilian feminist started to go against him, and then eventually the Brazilian government started clamping down on the passport bros, and now Colombia is doing the exact same thing, proving my point about white supremacy being global, and many of these white supremacist adjacent countries looking to try to maintain their position in the institution of white supremacy. And it proves also that when it comes down to many of these black men, there is no escaping the system of white supremacy that's basically global. And while you think you can run to one of these countries and look to think that you can find an escape to try to find a relationship with one of these foreign women who you have been told the lie is different than a black woman, basically you're running into the same anti-black racism and you're running into the same feminist indoctrinated female nature, because many of those same foreign women are watching the same social media that you go out here and put on places like YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, and basically are watching you. And as they watch you, they're basically looking at you as an easy mark that they can go out here and look to fleece for a few dollars before they go out here and either get with the guy that's in their country or the white guy that they really want. And many of these black men, again, you try to present them facts like this, and what they'll do is just go out here and move the goalposts, because what they want to do is continue to remain in denial even though you have people going out here stating the facts to them. They don't want to hear those facts at all. No, don't want to hear any of those facts at all. They just want somebody to tell them what they want to hear, that they can get away from this ratchet black woman, not understanding that the same kind of ratchet is in one of these foreign countries. Same ratchetness, different color. Same racism, different country. Presented to them, and they'll say to me, like a guy like me, oh, you're not qualified to speak on the subject. Well, here I am bringing you someone who is qualified to speak on the subject, and basically presenting you the facts that I presented back in August of 2019 that basically led to me, again, suffering as a result at the hands of these black men, who basically led to me losing almost 70% of my Patreon support, and basically was harassed and cyber stalked, all because I presented opinions they didn't want to agree with and could have the facts to back them up. Again, here we have facts to back it up, and sadly, when it comes down to many of these black men, they'll still remain in denial, no different than the black female swirlers and divestors. Even though you present the divestment disaster videos or the other types of videos, these people still won't see the facts. And again, that's because they believe that white acceptance in society is better than their intangibles, like their self-dignity, their self-respect, and even their freedom and their life. That's what's being put at risk. But these people don't really think about that. No, they think that if I go out here and get involved with someone from another country, I'll be able to escape the bitter black women and look to spite those bitter black women. But the whole thing is that when it comes down to these black men, they can't see the contempt that the people in these countries have for them. Again, even though the old profession is perfectly legal in Colombia, they still don't see a black man getting with their woman as a positive thing. No, they don't see a black man getting with their women as something good like the black man does. And they don't see the black man as the most desirable, even if he's got hundreds of thousands of dollars. They don't see him as desirable because that's not a good look for them. They'd rather lose the money than have the black man coming into their country, again, going out here and being in their country and looking like he's doing better than them, because maintaining the standard of the system of white supremacy means more to the Colombians than the whole idea of a black man coming to their country. And again, you present the facts to the black man, and he don't want to hear it at all. And that's the scariest part about this situation. These guys are like lambs to the slaughter. They listen to the social media rhetoric, but don't want to listen to the videos like this. And videos like this trying to show you what's really going on as related to things. Again, these countries are starting to get wise and starting to say, no, our standing in the system of white supremacy is higher than going out here and being a tourist destination for black people, showing us how little they value black people, showing you how little they value the black dollar, and shows you how little they regard black people. But the sad part is many black men have such low self-esteem that they'll think going to one of these countries is better than having things like their dignity, their self-respect, their freedom, or their life. No, they think that the foreign woman is better, and they want that opportunity to be with that foreign woman, even though when it comes down to that same foreign man who basically is creating these policies to keep him out, he was raised by that foreign woman, and he can't connect that dot to see that when it comes down to these countries, again, when it comes down to them, they don't really want that black man around, and the black man, sadly, in many cases, just can't take the hint. Now, if you want to pick up some of my books on the SJS Direct imprint, you can find those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. And if you want to help me get out of the hole as related to Patreon support, you guys can go out here and drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App, because I lost a lot of donations and a lot of support just trying to stand up for black people and try to stand up for black on black love, because this is what I wanted to stand up for as related to this whole situation. But many people just, again, when it came down to the black men, all they wanted to do was continue staying on in self-hatred. So I'm trying to get back up as related to my Patreon and my PayPal. So if you guys could drop donations, that would really help. This video probably ain't gonna get monetized. And if you want to see me go out here and continue to shatter the false passport narrative, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, An Offer He Can't Refuse. A man who rules the world gets a job offer he can't refuse in this action-packed all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes, An Offer He Can't Refuse at Amazon.com and other online booksellers. Now available in paperback and e-readers, ISIS, Runway of Doom. The goddess next door struts her stuff on the catwalk to take on a runway of rogues in this action-packed all-new ISIS series adventure. Get your copy of ISIS, Runway of Doom at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Paperback and Kindle Unlimited. Esteem a New Woman. The devilish diva starts on the road to becoming a new creature in Christ in this all-new Esteem series adventure. Get your copy of Esteem a New Woman at Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.